Well, the coronavirus outbreak is creating headaches for parents. They're receiving conflicting advice from different authorities as school returns for the year. As Patrick Murrell explained, some Victorian schools have defied directions from the Chief Medical Officer.
Here in Victoria, the official advice from health authorities is that students and teachers should return to school unless they've been in contact with someone infected with coronavirus or they're exhibiting flu-like symptoms. That's in line with the federal advice from the Chief Medical Officer, and it's largely being followed by schools across the state, including this one in Melbourne's southeast. But at least 15 schools in Melbourne have disregarded that advice, barring children from entering if they've recently travelled to China. It's particularly confusing for parents who have children at two different schools, being told one student can attend while the other must stay home.
Now, I understand frustrations of parents. We know parents who may have one child at a government primary school and another child at a private secondary school receiving different advice. And that leads to confusion and that leads to frustration, and I can understand that.
The advice is if you've been in contact with someone who has the virus, or are showing flu-like symptoms or symptoms which mean that you might have the virus, you should stay away from school.
In WA and New South Wales, state governments have been more cautious than the federal government. They've taken the extra step of banning students from returning to school for at least 14 days if they've recently travelled to China. New South Wales Education Minister Sarah Mitchell says even though some pupils may miss out on some school, it's the right decision to protect other students.
I was getting increasing information and correspondence from schools and families who were concerned about this, and we came to the view that there's no harm in going a bit further. There's no harm in going that extra precautionary step from the health advice. My understanding is the WA government has made a similar move overnight, and this is up to state governments to decide how they'd like to respond, and I do think we've made the right decision. I know it's late notice to families and we apologise for that, but we think it's the right thing to have done.
Advice from medical authorities is constantly being updated with the latest information, and with confirmation of the first human-to-human transmission in Europe, some are saying it's better to be safe than sorry.